What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Yeah, this one is Harry Melvin and the Blue Notes. I just be playing damn near the same stuff. I just be rocking here. I got a mix and I just let it play. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. At Amazon, Kindle, Create Space. Link will be in the description box below, as usual. This video is entitled Raised or Trained to Divorce. Darn you, BGS Itmore. So I was on his hangout, and I like listen. I like BGS Itmore's hangouts, whether it's BGS for women or BGS Itmore. If I can't, it's a long hangout. If you get a chance to watch, it's like at night. It's for you Nighthawks. I'm not really a Nighthawk, but check it out. They're very long when the hangouts. They're like 8 hours, but they're great hangouts. We were talking last night, and I was listening to the ladies, and it started making me think that BGS said something very, 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 very true. That older generations were trained to be husbands and wives at a younger age. They were ready to do it. I think I would say that from the baby boomers to now, people are trained to get divorced. Because the things that would make a person ready for marriage and marriage material are not being passed on from one generation to the next. These are things that people are learning trial and error with other adults as they go. So instead of being trained to work cohesively with the opposite sex, we're trained to basically get into it with the opposite sex and get over on them, or try to get over and try to get what you can get out of them, and exit with the lion's share of the resources and the time that you two were together, whatever those resources may be, right? So I think that's true. That's spot on, because if you're gonna be raw about it, the women feel like guys are after your bodies. We're attracted to you. We want your bodies. Yes, we do. And y'all think we want to get everything out of your body for nothing. And there are guys who are like that. And then there are women who want to use their bodies as a means to an end. Like, whether they're actual having sex with these guys, or they're using the idea that one day you will have sex with them to get as much out of you as they can. And this is what they do on a regular basis. So, and I've said this before, it's a trick and prostitute type relationship. It's the same way with marriage, and the same way with no fault divorce, and what is that? Irreconcilable differences, which means absolutely nothing. I just ain't feeling you, so I need to go. And in some ways, to me, those entitlements, in some ways, an entitlement was created, where people feel like the opposite sex owes them something, just because the opposite sex has a gender role. And what it comes off as is, I guess, women feel like men want husband benefits without husband responsibility. And I think men feel women want wife benefits without wife responsibility. So it is done differently. So that's one of the things that people don't want to admit. It's not the exact same. Everything isn't done the exact same way between men and women. I'll give you an example. Like, men in cheating. There are guys who cheat, but to be able to stay with a cheater, that's a woman's choice. Because normally a man won't stay with a cheating woman. Like, you cheating, we over. But a woman, she may, because they have a different, I guess, outlook of it. Is it a one-time thing? Is it a are you in love with this person? Or is it a sexual thing? Is it, whatever it is for them? It's not necessarily a one and done scenario. But that is the same thing with men. Like if a man, but on the flip side of it, if a man is a habitual cheater, you know, and your woman cheats on you, these guys get upset and they want to lose it. But at the same time, see many of guys who knew they were habitual cheaters and a woman knew they was habitual cheaters, when they went out to cheat, though it caused an argument and a rift, the guy really couldn't go nowhere. Cause it's like, what goes around comes around. But that is actually an old school thing. Like, look, you've been creeping on this person for years, so they dipped out on you. What are you? What? Now you done? I mean, you didn't have a problem when you was doing it. You might as well stay. So, being able to get people are taught that they can't get a taste of their own medicine, and then it's over with. Which I think is ridiculous, because if you put it out there, if you dish it, you got to be able to take it. But that's just my opinion. On top of that, even with the dish it and take it thing, as far as man to woman, woman to man, everybody can point the finger to the other side and tell them what they're supposed to be doing. But see, people were groomed in knowing what they were supposed to be doing, and with the things they would be doing right and the things that they would be doing wrong, and they would be taught, and they would be, and their elders would teach them, if you give off these signals, these are the type of people that you're gonna attract, and this is what you got to settle for. If you give off these type of signals, these are the people you're gonna attract, and this is what you're gonna have to accept and settle for. Now, because people were raised in single parent households, nothing is really acceptable. See, everything is a deal breaker. I made a video recently about people's preferences. Your standards are your standards, but your preferences are becoming your deal breakers. See, when we were trained for marriage, everybody had a certain standard of human being that they had to be that would work in a marriage. Just because you didn't fit all the person's preferences didn't mean you weren't good in a marriage, because you fit all of the standards and you were able to actually do your job. And now, with whether you want to call it, now with capitalism, feminism, probably what they call gynocentrism, whatever, entitlement, spoiled generations, lack of rites of passage of manhood. You have a bunch of people out here who are developing at least a decade behind older generations who were trained to be husbands and wives. So, though they were older than their grandparents or great-grandparents' generation, when they got married, they're pretty much mentally on the same level. They're just being able to understand that you have to give of yourself in their late 20s and early 30s, when, back in the day you knew that in your late teens, and you were ready for that in the early 20s. You knew the responsibilities that you were going to have to take on, and other people would make you take them on. That's part of the shotgun wedding thing, and you ain't running from your responsibilities, even whether you did it, even if you did it by mistake, you know. So now everybody just, it's a gimme, 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 gimme. It's about me, 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 me. And a relationship isn't about me, it's about we. And unfortunately, people are groomed to make it about them, and instead of about us, or the other person. So I'm gonna end this video here because it's fight night and I'm about to get ready. We out.